place at the moment because of school. So that's my whole dilemma, but it's fine. I think I can do some role plays now. It's kind of like half term, it's just like a holiday, so hopefully I can do something then. But I'm meant to be doing a bunch of school, but it does not matter. I'm going to be doing lots and lots of videos, so please comment down below like as many video ideas that you can think of, but try and get it away from like roleplay and stuff. Please try and have some ideas that are kind of like casual chill ones, you know what I mean, because I need some more of them. But for now, I just finished my book, Nevermoor. Yay! So basically the whole thing that happened with this, I don't know if you guys saw my book TBR. That was basically like my whole spooky book TBR for autumn and stuff, and the first one on the list, Black Hollow Lane, I read like 2 or 3 chapters, and I'm sorry, but I hated the style of writing. The story was just so boring. Like, I'm so not a contemporary person. Like, yeah, I just feel like I'm not a contemporary person. I think like the only exception is of a book that I've liked that's kind of contemporary, or at least just set in the modern age. What was City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab. I like kind of contemporary, but like still that's kind of, I don't know, it's less contemporary than anything because it's kind of like ghosty, so you kind of feel like you're in a different land. And so I was reading it and I was just like no. And so then I looked at my entire list and I was just like, I don't want to read them anymore. So that was that. I feel like I'm just like this little head like at the bottom of the camera. I don't know what's happened. It's like I was drunk or something. But anyways, so that was my whole dilemma, and I was just sat there and I was like, you know what, I can't with it. And I just looked at all the list and I was like, no. So then I was just like watching some of my favourite booktubers, trying to get some inspiration to read one of them. And one of my favourite ones, books with Chloe. I saw in one of her videos in the background, the series of Nevermoor was just lying there, and I was like, I've seen that before. And where I saw it before was in my brother's little book section. He doesn't read, but my parents put on books to try and get him to read. He never read them, and I found this and I was like, why does Books of Chloe have this? Like, when I think of her, I don't necessarily think of middle grade. I think of like scary, like dark books, like dark meanings and stuff. So when I saw this, I was like,